Guys, and welcome to today's crypto chat. It's a Friday. What are the markets doing? Let's have a look. So we can see broadly that Bitcoin has recovered a little, 0.4%. Ethereum's up almost 4. Ripple's up almost 5. Bitcoin Cash 2.7, and of course Litecoin is up 5%. So better than yesterday, as we all saw, a bit of a nosedive. But generally, we're pretty stagnating really on currency prices, and maybe less of a moon rise than people were expecting. Anyway, let's look at what's done well today, what's done poorly, and we'll go from there. Right, change 24 hours. So Nano's up 28%, Loop Ring, DigiDAO, Partiki, and then Ethereum Classic's actually making a rise. That's unexpected. You haven't really heard a lot about that for a long time now, actually, so that's quite interesting. The others, of course, are typical, like, go up one day, you never hear about them the next. And that's the case with Nano, Redcoin, and Dragon Chain. As always, let me know if you're holding any of these coins, and if so, what do you think is going to happen? Like, do you own DigiDAO? Has it gone well for you? How much did you put in? Is it going to go well in the future? What do you think? And where's it going to go? Anyway, what's done worse today? Made Savecoin, Ethereum, and the classic. We've talked about Ethereum quite a lot this week, actually. Obviously, at the beginning of the week, it was up, I think, 15%, and then we've just seen a gradual decline from there. So I think we saw 11% decline yesterday, and then 7% decline today. Going down, we've got our chain, Monero, and Dash. So two quite big ones there. Like most people know Monero and most people know Dash. So interesting to see why they're down. And of course, Tether is 0.5% down. So not a lot, but interesting to see some of the big names in there today. Besides the shitcoins like Dentacoin, who I hate, and I talked about yesterday. No one needs a cryptocurrency for dental records. It's ridiculous. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the news today. CoinDesk, we can see quite some good news, really. So that New York are actually thinking about the license that they give to companies in the state to trade in Bitcoin and like other cryptocurrencies. So as we know, the Bit license has been a thing for a while now. There's actually a great Netflix episode on people who like started selling Bitcoin in the early days, so 2010, 2011, and basically loads of the companies were put out of business because like New York State was like, oh shit, I have no idea how to regulate this, how do we do this? Let's do licenses. And basically no one could afford the license because the license was like $100,000 and no one had the money back then. And it's I think it's a real problem to innovation, like not only in cryptocurrency, but also to like people who want to get into cryptocurrency in New York. I mean, how are you expected to get into something if you can't raise a benchmark figure of 100 grand to get in the first place? Anyway, the good news here is that State Senator David Carluccio said that they actually want to do something about this. Do we actually need a Bitcoin license? And maybe, they can work out if it's actually working for New York and New York State and the economy. And maybe if this all goes through, we might actually see like a change in feelings towards Bitcoin and who can trade it in New York, which is really interesting. And although like you might be thinking like, Michael, like I'm watching this in London or I'm watching this in Sydney or Wellington, the point is like Bitcoin and like the regulation affects everyone who trades in the market. So good to see some good news coming out of the States and New York. And let's hope like other people and like other governments look at this and be like, maybe we should like change our regulation toward Bitcoin and think of it in a better light than we already do. Anyway, the other story I wanted to cover today was just how much Bitcoin transactions have dropped recently. This is also covered in CoinDesk. So the article puts forward that as at their height they were $26, and now they're down to $3. And this is all very good, like obviously for new investors, they're getting in and maybe they're buying like £100 or like $200 of Bitcoin. And if you were getting in the December or November, then maybe you'd buy the $200, but then to send it to your private wallet, maybe you'd be paying like $26, just to get it one way and then to get it back again. And say if you just bought Bitcoin just to sell it on again, then that's 26 to transfer, and then from that private wallet back to like an exchange like Coinbase or local Bitcoin. So you could have spent $50 just transferring your $200, which is ridiculous. Anyway, if you're buying in now, then the same thing, but you're only paying $3 either way, which is much better, and it actually goes with Satoshi's vision that Bitcoin could actually be used as a proper currency, which could be traded between individuals without, like, needing certain financial circumstances just to get into the market in the first place. And it'll be interesting to see, like we've covered earlier in previous vlogs, how yeah. how the new network influences the fees on on the Bitcoin market, and will actually make it more usable as like a currency that people can actually use day to day. When I'm looking at this story, like it all makes sense, and I understand like the transactions have gone down due to Bitcoin becoming, the price has gone down, so that means less people are doing the transactions. However, it says here in December there were roughly 400,000 transactions per day, while today Bitcoin is saying only 200,000. Is there, like, if it's in half, how have the fees gone so low? Like, if the transactions have halved, surely you'd expect $26 to now be $13, not $3. So I don't really understand how CoinDesk have put forward that argument, and I don't know if it's really something we should believe just because the transactions have halved, but yet the transaction actual price is what is like 90% of what it originally was. And they've covered in this article, how Segwit is gonna change fees, and a lot of discussion there on Twitter and Reddit, which is great, even though a bit of a battlefield in the crypto market. We've spoken about this before. You look at the Bitcoin Reddit, and then you look at the Bcash Reddit or the Litecoin Reddit, and there's so much hate about different cryptocurrencies. And fundamentally, we're all part of the same team, guys. Like, we're all in the market. So like, be nice to each other. Don't bitch and moan. Anyway, while we've talked about cryptocurrency and what's happening today in the markets, we're also going to go back to the mainstream economics. So today, Yahoo put a story out on banks admit to major flaw in contactless card. And basically, the article says that even if you have a contactless card and you report it stolen, and the bank says, okay, no one will be able to use it, it's a blank card. Basically, with contactless, criminals can still use your stolen card and do contactless transactions of up to £30, which is what, $60 or something like that. Which is bullshit, right? And it just shows how the mainstream economic system is still completely biased. With regard, not only with regard to banks having all the money, but with regard to your personal data and your money. Everyone tells you that banks are safe and Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are frauds because people steal from exchanges and things like that. But fundamentally, if I had my money in a private wallet like Trezor or Ledger, and even if someone stole my Ledger or my Trezor, as long as they didn't have my private keys, then they still couldn't use the cryptocurrency on my account. And then it just shows why more people should use cryptocurrency and store their money in it. Because even if you're not completely sure on the longevity or like the price or whatever. Like the money is safe. If you don't be an idiot and leave your money in an exchange and you actually put it somewhere safe, like a private ledger offline wallet, then like something like this story says could never happen to you, because fundamentally your money is yours, you should look after it, and fundamentally it's ridiculous to allow other people to look after your money, and basically your security and your life, because money affects everything we do regardless of what people say. It affects the life you live, what you do, how much freedom you have, and fundamentally with Bitcoin, it's possible to control your own destiny, which at the moment we don't do with traditional financial institutions. Anyway, got a bit deep there, but guys, I hope you liked the vlog today. Leave a comment below in the comment, leave a comment below down here, and if you like today's video, guys, then please subscribe over there. Button should be there, and while I'm here, check out some other cryptocurrency bloggers such as Crypto Bobby. I will leave his link up here. And guys, I will see you guys tomorrow.